Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to slice through the noise, get straight to the insights you need. Okay, what if I told you that 96% of Warren Buffett's, staggering wealth was built after he turned 65?
Wow, that's quite a number.
Right. Or, how about this? Most lottery winners, they end up completely broke within just a few years.
Yeah, you hear those stories all the time. It's kind of tragic, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
And the key thing here, it isn't intelligence or education
Yeah.
or like some secret investment strategy.
So what is it then?
It's psychology.
Yeah.
Almost entirely. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to take a deep dive into Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money. It's incredibly insightful.
It really is a fantastic read.
We're basically going to try and transform how you think about wealth, about financial success. We'll explore why smart people, really smart people, often make terrible money decisions.
And how our own emotions can just completely sabotage us.
Totally. And also the surprisingly simple mindset shifts that, genuinely separate the truly rich from, everyone else.
And what's so striking about House's work, I think, is how universal these psychological principles are.
Yeah.
This isn't your typical finance book, is it? No boring charts, no overly complex formulas,
Definitely not.
which makes the insights just so applicable no matter what your current situation is. It really offers a fresh perspective on something we all deal with every single day.
Often without even realizing these, powerful psychological forces are pulling the strings.
Exactly.
Okay, let's jump right into something that, for me, just absolutely blows the lid off conventional thinking.
All right, I'm ready.
The shocking truth about compound interest. We mentioned Buffett earlier. 96% of his wealth after 65.
Just sit with that number for a moment. 96%.
Think about it. This guy was already a multimillionaire in his 20s, right? Became a billionaire in his 50s.
Yeah, already hugely successful by any standard.
But the vast majority of his fortune came as a senior citizen.
It's almost unbelievable when you put it like that.
And it wasn't because he suddenly started getting, supernatural returns or anything.
Right, his average annual return is what, around 22%?
Right.
Which is fantastic, obviously, but not...
Not unheard of, exactly. Not some magic number.
So the real difference maker was...
Time. Just sheer, relentless time. Starting early and just never stopping. For over 70 years.
70 years of compounding. That's the engine.
It's that sustained, relentless compounding. No wonder Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world.
You can see why.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting and kind of counterintuitive. Straight from Housel's book.
Okay.
Picture this example. It's powerful. Person A starts investing, say, $200 a month at age 25.
Okay, starting young.
Right. But they stop investing at age 35. So just 10 years of investing.
10 years total. Got it.
Now, person B, they start investing that same $200 a month, but at age 35.
Okay, starting later.
And they keep going until age 65. So they invest for a full 30 years.
30 years versus 10. Seems obvious who'd have more.
You'd think. But when they both hit retirement, guess who has more money?
Let me guess. Person A, the one who stopped early.
Person A. Even though they invested for 20 fewer years.
Wow. That really hammers home the power of starting early, doesn't it? The time itself does the heavy lifting.
It really does. But, it raises that question. If it's so clear, why do so many smart people still put off investing?
Yeah, especially in their 20s. You feel like you got all the time in the world, or maybe you think, I'll start when I make more money.
Exactly. That'll start later trap. What's the psychological hurdle there? How do we actually use that superpower of time?
Well, I think part of it is we don't feel those small amounts compounding day to day. It's invisible at first.
Right. You see the big immediate expenses, the rent, the car payment, whatever.
Yeah.
Not the, slow growth.
But the truth is, compound interest, or maybe just compounding in general, it doesn't just work with money.
That's such a good point. It works with everything, right?
Absolutely. Read 30 minutes a day, you'll be incredibly knowledgeable in just a few years.
Or exercise 20 minutes daily. You'll be in amazing shape.
Exactly. It's those small, consistent actions compounded over time. That's what creates extraordinary results, really, in any area of life.
So the lesson, connecting it back, is about that incredible leverage you get from just being consistent.
Yeah, consistent small actions. The big takeaway, start now. Seriously.
Even if it's just like $25 a month.
Even if you think it's too small to matter, future you will definitely present you for getting this psychology and actually doing something about it.
Okay, so we've hit time as your superpower. But what about the things we can't control?
The uncomfortable stuff.
Yeah, let's move on to that uncomfortable truth. Luck. The massive, often kind of swept under the rug role of luck in financial success.
We don't like talking about luck much, do we?
Not really. We want to believe rich people are rich only because they're smart and worked hard.
And that poor people are poor only because they made bad choices. It's a simpler narrative.
Much simpler. But the reality, as Housel shows, is way, way more complicated, more nuanced.
So give us an example.
Okay, Bill Gates. We all know. Brilliant guy, working incredibly hard. Nobody disputes that.
Sure, a visionary.
But the book highlights his, extreme luck. Attending Lakeside School, one of the only high schools in the entire U.S. with a computer terminal back in 1968.
Wow, that's specific luck.
And being born in 1955. Housel calls it the perfect age to ride the personal computer wave.
So timing was everything, too.
Totally. If he'd been born, say, 10 years earlier or later, Microsoft as we know it might not even exist.
Right, and that doesn't diminish his achievements at all, of course.
Not one bit.
But it shows that extreme success often needs that extra ingredient, extreme luck on top of the skill and the hard work.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating, or maybe sobering, is the flip side. How many brilliant, hardworking people fail? Not because of bad decisions necessarily.
But just because of bad luck, a bad break.
Exactly. It's a humbling reminder, isn't it, about the randomness in life and markets.
So, okay, how does this apply to you, the listener? What do you do with this information?
Well, first, maybe foster some humility about your own successes. Acknowledge that, yeah, you worked hard, but maybe things broke your way sometimes too.
And have some compassion about others' failures. We don't always know the whole story.
Right. We all face different headwinds and tailwinds. But more crucially, practically.
Yeah.
It means you need to position yourself to survive the bad luck.
Survive the bad luck.
And be ready to benefit from the good luck when it shows up. Because it probably will, eventually, if you stick around.
Okay, so how do you do that?
The absolute key directive, in Housel's words, is just never get wiped out.
Never get wiped out. That's powerful. Simple but powerful.
Yeah.
So practically, what does that look like? What are the steps?
Always have an emergency fund. That's non-negotiable.
Okay. Cushion for the unexpected.
Never put all your money in one single investment. Diversify.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Got it.
Avoid destructive debt. The kind that can financially crush you if things go wrong.
Right. Like high-interest credit cards, maybe?
Could be. And when you take risks, make them calculated risks. Don't bet the entire farm on one outcome, even if it looks like a sure thing.
Also uses that great analogy, right? Luck is like the weather.
Yeah, you can't control it.
But you can carry an umbrella. And that umbrella is your financial preparation, your safety net.
It's such a good visual. And it ties into that long-term perspective again. Remember, you only have to get rich once.
But you have to stay rich forever.
Exactly. Protecting what you have is just as important, maybe even more important, than building it in the first place. Endurance is the name of the game.
Okay, this next insight, for me, might be one of the most powerful, maybe the most challenging in the whole book.
Okay, I'm listening carefully.
The hardest part about money isn't making it. It's knowing when you have enough.
Oof. Yeah, that hits home.
It's a really profound truth, I think. And it's something so many people struggle with their entire lives.
That feeling of never enough.
Yeah. The book shares that shocking story of Rajat Gupta. You remember this?
Vaguely, yeah. High-powered executive.
Hugely powerful, worth over $100 million. Sat on the boards of Goldman Sachs, Procter & Gamble. I mean, he had everything by any reasonable measure.
Okay, so what happened?
He threw it all away. For insider trading, using confidential info for illegal stock trades, because he wanted more.
With $100 million already, why?
That's the question.
Yeah.
He ended up a convicted felon. Lost his reputation, his wealth, his freedom, everything.
It just makes you wonder, like you said, why would someone with $100 million risk absolutely everything for just a little bit more?
It's baffling on the surface.
But it's down to what Housel calls the moving goalposts problem.
Right. Explain that.
It's like, just when you reach what you thought was enough, you subconsciously adjust the goalpost higher. Your definition of enough changes.
We compare ourselves, right, not to where we were, but to where others are now.
Exactly. That person making $80,000 might feel poor if all their neighbors make $200,000, even if $80K covers their needs perfectly well. Social comparison is brutal.
So what's the solution? How do you fight that constant urge for more, that moving goalpost?
You have to learn consciously to sometimes move the goalpost backwards
Backwards. Interesting. How?
by deliberately defining enough for yourself. What does financial security actually look like for you? What level of comfort? What level of freedom?
And then sticking to it.
And then sticking to it, which, again, is the hard part. This doesn't mean you lack ambition, not at all.
No, it's not about settling in a bad way.
It's about understanding that the only way to actually win the money game is to occasionally realize you've won enough for now, and maybe stop playing so aggressively for a bit. Appreciate it.
Right. Enjoy what you've built.
And what's really at the core here, the fundamental truth, is that true wealth, it isn't about having the most money.
It's about
Having enough money to stop worrying about money, that's the real prize.
freedom from financial anxiety.
Precisely. Once you can comfortably pay your bills, have some security buffer, buy yourself reasonable freedom and options, any additional wealth needs to be weighed carefully.
Weighed against what you're giving up to get it.
Exactly. Your time, your relationships, your peace of mind, your health even. It becomes a trade-off, and we often forget to even consider that trade-off in the relentless pursuit of more.
That's huge. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about something that can feel, well, a bit uncomfortable.
Uh-oh. What now?
Why you spend money on things you don't actually need.
Okay, yeah, definitely uncomfortable territory.
Spoiler alert, it's probably not for the reasons you tell yourself.
Go on.
Housel reveals this kind of brutal truth. A lot of our spending isn't really about the thing itself. It's about signaling.
Signaling what?
Signaling to other people, and maybe even to ourselves, who we are, or perhaps who we want to be perceived as. Our status, our success.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about like an expensive car. You tell yourself, oh, it's about reliability, or it's the performance.
Practical reasons.
Right. But if you're really honest, isn't part of it, maybe a big part, about what that car says about your success to the world.
Yeah, probably more than we like to admit.
Or a designer handbag. Sure, it might be well made, but it's also undeniably a status signal.
Okay, I see the pattern.
And this creates what Housel calls the keeping up with the Joneses trap. But he says it's actually even worse than that.
How could it be worse?
He says we're not just keeping up with the Joneses often, we're trying to impress people we don't even like, with money we don't actually have,
Ouch.
to buy things we don't truly need.
That's a pretty bleak summary of consumer culture.
It is. And it connects to lifestyle inflation, right?
Absolutely. It's fascinating and kind of insidious how lifestyle inflation works. Your income goes up.
And your spending magically rises right alongside it, or even faster.
Yep. So the person making $50,000 who manages to save $5,000 a year is actually building wealth faster.
Then the person making $150,000 who saves nothing because their lifestyle ate it all up.
Exactly. Yet who does society often celebrate more? The high earner, not necessarily the high saver.
It's a totally perverse incentive structure when you think about it.
Yeah.
Keeps people on the treadmill.
Trapped.
But here's the really interesting counterintuitive part from the book.
Okay.
Real millionaires. They don't necessarily look like millionaires, according to the research Housel cites.
They're not all driving Lamborghinis.
Not at all. The truly wealthy person is often driving like a 7-year-old Toyota, living in a modest house. You'd walk right past them on the street and never guess they're worth millions.
So why is that?
Because they understand a fundamental truth. Looking rich is incredibly expensive.
It costs a lot to maintain that image.
Whereas being rich often requires not spending money unnecessarily. It requires discipline and delayed gratification.
So zooming out, the bigger picture here is that wealth, true wealth, is actually what you don't see.
Say more about that?
It's the fancy car not purchased, the designer clothes not bought, the constant stream of expensive dinners not ordered.
It's the money that stays invested and grows.
Exactly. Wealth is hidden. It's growing quietly in investment accounts, retirement funds, maybe real estate equity. It's not usually parked in the driveway for everyone to admire.
So a really practical question you can ask yourself then, every time you're about to buy something, especially something significant,
What's the question?
am I buying this because I truly need it? Or because I genuinely want it for its own sake? Or am I buying it because of what I think it says about me?
Ooh, that's a powerful filter.
Just asking that one question honestly could absolutely transform your spending psychology forever.
I believe it.
Okay.
Okay, where do we go next?
Let's tackle what Housel calls maybe the biggest wealth destroyer of all time.
Okay, the biggest one. This should be good.
Your own emotions.
Fear and greed. The classics.
Exactly. Here's something that might shock you, though. Studies consistently show that the average investor
Yeah.
actually earns about 2 to 3% less per year than the very investments they own.
Wait, how is that even possible? How can you underperform your own holdings?
It sounds crazy, but it's simple. They buy high,
When things feel good, when everyone's excited, FOMO kicks in.
right? And they sell low.
When things look scary, when the market crashes, when panic sets in.
They do the exact opposite of what they should be doing. And it costs them potentially millions over their investing lifetime.
Think about 2008, the global financial crisis.
Total panic. What did most people do? Sold everything near the bottom.
Yeah.
Locked in those huge losses.
And then maybe missed the recovery. And then maybe in, say, 2017, when things were booming again.
Everyone piled back in, buying like crazy near the top.
Buy high, sell low. It's the perfect formula for staying poor.
Precisely.
And what's so insightful here is realizing this isn't about intelligence. Some of the absolute smartest people make the worst investment decisions.
Right.
Because they're fighting their own basic human psychology. Fear and greed are incredibly powerful, primal emotions.
They override logic.
They make us do incredibly stupid things with money, even when we intellectually know better. Happens to doctors, lawyers, engineers,
Yeah.
everyone.
Okay, so let's unpack this. How do we deal with it? The solution can't be to just like eliminate emotions.
Right.
Right. That's impossible.
Totally impossible. We're human.
So the solution is
But
to create systems that work with your emotions or maybe bypass them instead of fighting against them constantly.
okay, systems. Like
Yeah.
what does Housel suggest?
He outlines a few key ones, and they're really practical. First,
Yeah.
automate everything you possibly can.
Automate, like automatic transfers.
Yep. Set up automatic investments into your accounts every month, every paycheck. That way, you're buying regardless of how you feel about the market that day. Takes the decision and the emotion out of it.
Okay, that makes sense. Removes the temptation to time the market. What else?
Second, think time, not timing.
Time, not timing.
Instead of trying to guess what the market will do next week or next month, which is basically impossible anyway,
Right, a fool's game.
focus on what it's likely to do based on history over the next 10, 20, 30 years. Play the long game.
Zoom out. Got it. And the third system. Make volatility your friend, or at least accept it as part of the deal.
Accept volatility. Markets going up and down wildly.
Yeah. Market crashes, corrections. They aren't bugs in the system. They're features. They happen. They're normal.
Okay, but how are they your friend? They feel terrible.
They're opportunities. Opportunities to buy great companies, great assets at discount prices if you have the cash in the stomach for it.
So if you're automated and thinking long term, a crash is just a sale.
Exactly. You're buying more shares for the same dollar amount.
Okay, so summing this up,
Mhm.
what does this mean for you as an investor? What's the mindset?
Successful investors don't have crystal balls. They don't predict the future.
What do they have then?
They have the right temperament, the ability to stay calm or at least stay the course during chaos.
They understand that market ups and downs, that volatility, it's simply the price you pay.
It's the cost of admission for achieving those superior long-term returns that stocks historically provide. You don't get the reward without enduring the risk, the bumps along the way.
That really reframes it. So this raises an important question for you listening.
Yeah.
Are you focused on trying to be right all the time? Trying to make perfect market predictions?
Or are you focused on being reasonable about how markets actually behave, including the downturns?
Because a reasonable strategy, one that you can actually stick with through thick and thin.
Will always beat some theoretically perfect strategy that you abandon in panic during the very first market crash. Consistency trumps perfection.
Absolutely. Okay, finally, let's talk about the real goal here, the ultimate why behind all this financial stuff.
The bigger picture.
Yeah, because the goal isn't just to be rich for the sake of being rich, stacking up dollars like points in a game.
So what is the goal then?
The goal, according to Housel, is to buy the most valuable thing in the entire world,
Which is
your freedom.
freedom. Okay. Define that in this context.
Financial independence, financial freedom. It isn't necessarily about retiring at 40 or never working another day in your life, though it could be.
So it's more nuanced than just quit your job.
Much more. It's about having options. It's about having control over your time and your decisions.
Being able to say no.
Exactly. Being able to say no to things you don't want to do and yes to things you do want to do.
Like taking a lower paying job you love. Or
Yeah.
starting a business.
Or taking a sabbatical. pursuing opportunities without worrying about the immediate paycheck, making decisions based on what you want, not just what you absolutely need to pay the bills next month.
If we connect that to the bigger picture, just think about how many people feel trapped.
Trapped how?
Staying in jobs they hate, maybe truly despise, just because they need that paycheck.
Golden handcuff.
Or how many people can't pursue a dream, start that side project, learn that new skill because they're completely bogged down by monthly payments, by debt.
Right. They have no breathing room.
Financial freedom changes that entire dynamic. It gives you the power, the agency to solve your own problems, to design your own life. It's a profound shift in control, moving it back to you.
So how do you get there? What's the path to this freedom? Is it complicated?
The path itself is actually remarkably simple. Not necessarily easy, but simple.
Okay, what is it?
Spend less than you earn.
Rule number 1.
Invest the difference wisely.
Rule number 2.
And then let time and compounding work their magic.
Simple, but not easy, because it requires
Discipline, patience, the ability to delay gratification, which is hard in our instant gratification world.
resisting the urge to spend everything you make.
And what's really fascinating here, connecting back, is that this mindset of freedom, it's accessible at many different income levels. It's not just for the super rich.
How so?
It's fundamentally about aligning your lifestyle, your spending with your values, not just blindly scaling it up with your income.
Give me that contrast again.
Okay, think about the person making $60,000 a year, but they're disciplined, they save and invest 20% consistently.
Okay, $12,000 a year saved.
They are on a clear, tangible path towards financial freedom. Maybe not tomorrow, but it's happening.
Right. Now compare them to
The person making $200,000 a year, but saving nothing. Spending it all on the big house, the fancy cars, the expensive vacations.
looks successful on the outside.
But they're trapped, completely trapped by their own lifestyle.
Yeah.
They have no freedom, no real security. Despite the high income, one bad month, one layoff, and they're in serious trouble.
So it really comes down to the choices you make, the habits you build, not just the size of your paycheck.
Absolutely. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and what you do with that gap.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The bottom line from this deep dive into the psychology of money. What is it?
I think the core message is that financial success. It isn't really about being the smartest person in the room or having the most complex spreadsheets.
It's about
Understanding your own psychology, your biases, your emotions, your tendencies, and then designing systems, habits, and strategies that work with your human nature, not constantly fighting against it.
playing to your strengths and guarding against your weaknesses.
Exactly. And just to really reaffirm those key takeaways for everyone listening,
Go for it.
the best financial decisions aren't usually made by geniuses. They're made by ordinary people who understand their own limitations and plan accordingly.
Humility, again.
Start early if you can, be consistent even when it's boring, live below your means, create that gap, and just let compound interest do its incredible work over decades.
Simple advice, but based on such deep psychological truths. We really hope this deep dive into the psychology of money has given you some profound new insights
Yeah, hopefully some things to really chew on.
and encouraged you to maybe reflect on your own financial journey, your own relationship with money.
Which leads me to maybe a final provocative thought for you to consider as you go about your day.
Okay, leave us with something to think about.
If wealth, as Housel argues, is truly what you don't see,
The hidden stuff.
right, then this raises an important question for you. What hidden forms of wealth, maybe financial security, maybe time freedom, maybe just peace of mind, what hidden wealth are you actively, consciously building for your future self? Beyond the visible stuff, beyond the immediate gratification.
Wow, what hidden wealth are you building?
Yeah,
It's amazing food for thought.
something to ponder.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us on the deep dive.
Yeah.
Go forth, apply these insights, maybe rethink a thing or two, and transform your relationship with money.
Take care.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.